Ever wondered why most strategy builders just drain your time and money? So I spent 5 years and over $10,000 testing them, but only Strategy Quant X, now upgraded with AI, actually made me profitable and helping me make over $9,870 with low risk settings. So I'm going to show you exactly how these new AI features work, what sets this tool apart, and how you can use it to finally build strategies that make real money. To start, I'm going to show you how to create a profitable strategy from an idea. So I remember staring at the screen trying to come up with a trading strategy, but I was stuck. I had no idea how to start, so I went and just asked ChatGPT. Hey ChatGPT, can you please give me a trading idea? And this is what ChatGPT came up with. It's fairly simple. It's called a ADX filtered breakout entry, and it uses the ADX and the highest high to go long and the lowest low to go short. But instead of creating the strategy from scratch, doing it the slow, hard, old way, which is adding a condition and trying to figure out which one of these hundreds and hundreds of different options is the right one. Instead of that, I used the AI wizard. I put in the strategy prompt, which is create strategy for MT5 engine head, and I put in the strategy text, and then within seconds it created the strategy for me. And I mean, it was so fast. And then a few minutes later, I had back tested the strategy on MetaTrader on 17 years of tick data. It really did feel like cheating because I didn't really do any of the work. AI did all the work for me, and now it's sitting in my testing account along with the 30 other strategy, which is also nicely in profit. Here's how you can do the exact same thing yourself. You open up Strategy Quant, go into Algo Wizard, click on the AI Wizard, and on the right hand side a little pop-up box appears. You just type in create strategy for MT5 engine hedge, and then you paste your logic in, you press send, and it literally takes only a few seconds for it to come back with the results. You can tell it's done once you see this Sudoku up the top. So the next step is to send to AW Editor, which is the Algo Wizard. Give the strategy a name. I'm going to keep it default as AI strategy, and there is your strategy. Before we begin, I just want to say a big thanks to Black Bull Markets for sponsoring this video. So if you're looking for a solid broker, Black Bull is definitely worth a look. They're a New Zealand FMA regulated broker in operation for more than 10 years. And what I personally like is that they're designed for people who want to actively trade. They offer an amazing 1 to 500 leverage, and your funds are held in different accounts than the company funds. You get really tight raw spreads, super fantastic execution, and they have MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, TradingView, CTrader, and you can choose to trade manually or use robots to do the heavy work for you. They've also got different account types depending on where you're at in your own trading journey. You can open a demo account if you just want to test things out, or open 3 different ECN account types. You've got standard, prime, and institutional, where you can get spreads from 0 pips. You can trade Forex, commodities, equities, indices, and metals, a lot of different assets. So yeah, if you want a broker that offers free trading view plans and a VPS for active traders, Black Bull is worth a look. I've dropped a link in the description if you want to check them out or try a demo. The next problem hit me like a brick. How do I make this whole process faster? How do I get the software to think of strategies for me? I mean, sure, I could sit there bouncing ideas back and forth with AI, trying to brainstorm indicators and rules, but let's be honest, I'm not some genius trader. The truth is, I'm barely a trader at all. My real background is in programming and data analysis. I don't have decades and decades of screen time watching charts breathe, all the battle-hardened instincts that tell you which indicators work together for a certain currency pair. I just don't have that mysterious gut feel seasoned traders talk about, and that puts me at a disadvantage. And I feel that every time I try to compete with people who have that intuition baked into their bones. So to make my life easier and to generate strategies faster, I use the genetic builder, which is in Strategy Quant, in the Builder tab, I can select the symbol that I want to use, the time frame, and in the Building Blocks tab, there's a lot of indicators here, so I can choose exactly which indicator I want to use in my strategy. And when I'm ready, all I do is hit the Start button. The software will then try to match the different indicators together and find settings that work. Now, recently Gary joined my community after spending 6 months with another strategy builder, but no matter how many tweaks he tried, he always ended up getting the same type of robots. Imagine spending 6 months and thousands of dollars just to get the same rehashed strategies like everybody else using the same indicators that come default with the MetaTrader platform. That's where Strategy Quant X is different. You've got custom indicators, a whole lot of them just for Strategy Quant. So you can have a variety, like you can see in my own account. I've got Aussie CAD, Pound Swiss franc, US CAD, a whole bunch of other Forex pairs, and then I've got gold as well, giving me variety, not just in assets, but in different timeframes as well. And this ultimately gives you a much smoother equity curve. To use this function yourself within Strategy Quant, in the builder under full settings, in the building blocks, you can choose enter at market, stop or limit. And out of the 302 different building blocks, you can select a handful or all of them. And one more tip I have for you in what to build under the stop loss, instead of just the default fixed pips, you can use an ATR based stop loss or use an indicator block. The next part of getting variation in your trading strategies is by using templates. I spent 2 years trading robots that I found online, and these had really smooth equity curves and they looked too good to be true. And when I put them on a live account, they blew up account after account. I literally lost thousands trying to trade these robots until I realized that the sellers were hiding their blown accounts. But I was determined to make this trading style work, so I spent months building this template so I could create my own, with one difference. My robots would have a stop loss, and you can see them here every time the equity chart dips. That is where the stop loss is being hit. Because I don't want to be lying there awake at night thinking, when I wake up, am I going to have any money left? I know even trading high risk systems, even if the worst was to happen, I would still be protected. So the template just tells the strategy to open more and more trades as price moves against me. And when the group of trades is in profit, then close them all at the same time. I let Strategy Quant pick the entry indicators, the gap size, and the amounts of lots I should be using. There's unlimited ways you can create templates. You can create your own or use one that other people have shared online. You can set the structure and let the software do the rest of the work. So this is how you would create your own template in Strategy Quant. Head over to Algo Wizard and we're going to create a brand new strategy. We're going to use the full editor. And the first thing you want to do is up the top under settings, go over to advanced, and we're going to turn on advanced mode. So let's create our first condition. Let's pretend you really like the RSI indicator. So let's put in RSI. Whatever RSI is rising. Okay, so you want the RSI indicator to be your very first indicator. And then for the filter, you want Strategy Quant to figure that out for you. So you add another condition, and at the bottom here, you'll see random condition. So we're going to choose random condition. So now Strategy Quant will automatically pick the filter for your RSI strategy. Now, after the build step, most people will fail here in the test step because of overfitting their strategy to old data. And when they put these on real money accounts, they lose money month after month. But when you add robustness testing, you can avoid this trap and actually create strategies that work in live trading, like these, which have been working on my live account for the past few months. So what robustness testing is taking your strategy that looks good up to this point and running further tests on it, like putting it on new data that it's never seen before. So this is called out of sample testing, or changing the indicator values to see if it's still profitable. And this one is called Monte Carlo permutation testing, or taking the exact same strategy and seeing if it works on other currency pairs or other timeframes. And this is called multi-timeframe testing or multi-currency testing. There's a lot of different robustness tests possible in Strategy Quant, more robustness tests than any other software that I have seen, but picking the right ones and knowing the right way to perform these tests is the next challenge. So let me tell you about one of my students, Peter. He started trying to use ChatGPT to write code for MetaTrader, but failed. So after joining my program, he was not successful in the first month. But within 3 months of using the Pineapple workflow that I teach, he was able to deploy a portfolio of profitable Forex strategies. He then went on to use the exact same process and is now successfully trading profitably on indices, commodities, and futures. He went from knowing nothing to mastering 4 different markets using the exact same workflow. To perform robustness testing yourself in Strategy Quant, head over to the retester, and here you can see I've already loaded up an old strategy that I've got. This is the USD Japanese yen pair on the 4-hour chart, and you can see over the past few years it's generated $10,000. Let's rerun this strategy on a totally different time frame. So it was created using the 4-hour time frame. Let's switch it to the 1-hour time frame and select it and hit start. Once that's done, double click on the strategy and we can see this one, even though it's a totally different time frame, is still profitable. It is less profitable, only making $4,000 compared to the original strategy, which made $10,000, but overall it is still profitable and passes the robustness test. Next, I'm going to show you the easiest way to get smoother, more consistent profits without using high risk strategies. When I first started trading, I heard about portfolios being the holy grail of trading. And what portfolios is when you grab a whole bunch of strategies and you mash them together. Okay, diversification. I've heard that before. Basically, the more you diversify, the smoother your equity chart is. But how do I do that? Through all my research, everyone who talks about it is super vague. They just say diversify with multiple timeframes and multiple currencies. What does that even mean? No one had the answer, so I guessed it meant something like this. Let's say you have the Euro USD currency pair and you're going with the M to 30 timeframe and the H4 timeframe, and on each timeframe you need a trending strategy and a mean reversion strategy, which gives you 1, 2, 3, and 4 different strategies covering all the different combinations. Is that how you build a portfolio? And then do you repeat the same process on a totally different currency pair? No, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a portfolio, and it is not this way. Step 1 is to open up Quant Analyzer, and this software comes with the Strategy Quant Ultimate Pack. There's also a totally free version which allows you to create a portfolio of up to 4 strategies. I've already gone and loaded up 64 strategies from my strategy pool. You can see if I scroll down here, you can see there's a variety of different currency pairs. You've got Aussie CAD all the way down to USD Japanese yen and gold. And you can see I've got M30, H4, H1 timeframes. I'm going to select them all and then head over on the left to Portfolio Master. And from there, we're going to use the genetic search. I want a minimum of 5 strategies in my portfolio, up to 15. And here is the settings you want to check. So you want to leave the correlation to be pretty low. So I've got set here to 0.3 and select Compute Portfolios. And that is all. It's going to be pretty quick. Let's sort by return on drawdown, press stop and see what it's come up with. Clicking the first one. And we want to head over to the equity chart and check out sub-equities only. So what this is showing us is all the different strategies in this portfolio. It looks like about 5 different strategies. And you can see not all of them are profitable all the time. This yellow one here, there's a long period of this sideways movement. And then this blue one has a sideways movement over here. But when you combine them, that's the beauty with a portfolio. When you combine them, the overall line, this dark blue one in the middle, is much, much smoother. So now you know why Strategy Quant X beats the competition and actually makes strategies that make profits. But here's the thing, the software is really complex. It is super easy to build strategies the wrong way. So watch this next and I'll show you exactly how to test to see how sensitive your strategy is.